Your dog is not feeling guilty, it is afraid of you. That look, the flattened ears, the averted eyes, the slow, low tail, has nothing to do with what your dog did. It has everything to do with what your dog thinks you are about to do. In 2009, Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College set up a simple test. Owners told their dogs not to eat a treat, then left the room. Some dogs ate it, some didn't. Then Horowitz varied what owners were told before they came back, sometimes the truth, sometimes a lie, told the dog had misbehaved when it hadn't, or vice versa. The result, the guilty look appeared most reliably when the owner came back looking displeased, regardless of whether the dog had actually done anything. Dogs that ate nothing but whose owners were told they had misbehaved showed more guilty behavior than dogs that actually ate the treat, but whose owners were told everything was fine. The look was not tracking what the dog did, it was tracking what the owner's face looked like. These behaviors have a name in animal behavior research: appeasement signals, also called conflict avoidance displays. They evolved to de-escalate aggression in social animals, not to express remorse. Flattened ears, lowered body, gaze aversion, lip licking, tucked tail. These are not the markers of guilt. They are the markers of a social animal trying to neutralize a threat it detects in your posture, your tone, your face. The dog is not remembering that it chewed your shoe an hour ago. It is reading you right now. Guilt, as humans experience it, requires connecting a past action to a present internal state of self-reproach. That cognitive architecture requires a level of retrospective self-awareness the evidence does not support in dogs. A 2012 study by Hecht and colleagues took a different approach, examining owner perceptions and behavioral reports rather than running a deception experiment. One finding stood out. Owners who said their dogs always look guilty were also more likely to report punishing their dogs after the fact. The two things correlated. Whether that reflects a learned association, the dog picking up on emotional cues that have preceded punishment before, is plausible, but not something the study directly tested. The look is not confession, it is anticipation. The misread is not random, it is systematic, and dogs have been selected over thousands of years to be very good at producing it. There is a specific facial movement at the center of this, the inner brow raise, known in facial coding research as AU010. Prior research showed dogs produce this movement significantly more often when a human is paying attention to them than when they are alone. In humans, the same brow movement is associated with sadness and vulnerability and may facilitate caregiving responses. Then, in 2019, Kaminsky and colleagues published a study in PNAS documenting the anatomy behind AU010. In wolves, dogs' closest relatives, the muscle responsible for that movement is less developed or absent in many individuals. Dogs developed it. The anatomical change is relatively recent in evolutionary terms and appears linked to domestication. This is not dogs scheming, it is evolution selecting for faces humans respond to. The guilty look works inside that same system. It triggers a de-escalation response regardless of whether it signals anything about what the dog is feeling internally. Scolding a dog minutes after the fact is not discipline, it is just stress. The dog cannot connect your anger to something it did an hour ago. It connects your anger to right now, to whatever it was doing in the moment you walked in. Timing is not a training philosophy, it is a neurological constraint. Learning depends on immediate temporal association, and effectiveness drops rapidly as the delay increases. None of this means dogs feel nothing. The behavioral evidence for fear, stress, excitement, and attachment in dogs is robust. Those states are real. There is currently no strong evidence that dogs experience guilt in the human sense, the internal accounting of a past action against a self-held moral standard. The next time your dog gives you that look, it is not admitting anything. It is reading your face and calculating the next 30 seconds. It has been doing this for thousands of years. It is very good at it. That is not guilt. That is a dog being exactly what it evolved to be. And if you go back to the very beginning of this, your dog is not feeling guilty. It is reading you. It has always been telling you exactly what it is doing.